The G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty.
What's up, y'all? It's your man G-Wade holding it down. G-Wade Podcast, kicking it alongside with my man Deacon Dirty. And we got a special guest back in the building. Sits in. She's like we could say a correspondent.
Yeah,
is that a good correspondent? You like correspondent?
I'll take it. I feel all official correspondent. Come
like,
on,
with my badge.
Come on, right? Do I get like a G-Wade pendant or something?
Right. You know what I'm saying? DJ Miss Eclectic is in the house.
What's up?
What's happening, man? First, let's start off with this. You started a new podcast, which is a subsidiary of your other podcast.
Yes.
The Mixtape Podcast has also spawned
Yes.
the Mixtape Remix Podcast with Ty Dixon.
With Ty Dixon.
As your co-host.
Yes.
And you guys sit around and you talk about topics of what's happening in today's
society from a Christian's perspective.
Right.
Yes.
And sometimes it ain't always so Christian.
No, it gets real. I mean, we talk about sex, we talk about finances, relationships.
Well, all that stuff is Christian, but I'm just talking about the way you talk about it.
Well, the way we talk about it, it's kind of like how you sitting at home when you talking to your friends. Is that perspective?
Right.
It's a real perspective, you know. But we make sure it's biblically based.
Right.
But it's a real conversation. Real
but if a foreign filth slide out, then it just
like,
slide
oh
out.
Lord, I'm sorry, but you heard that at my house, so hey.
But Peter did it, so I think we're good.
Hey.
That's what's up. And so, here on the G-Wade Podcast with Deacon Dirty, we do the same thing. Well, we started doing the same thing and talking topics and all that kind of stuff. So we bring you in to share your female perspective from both the Christian point of view and the female point of view, and I'm sure parts of the secular point of view.
Absolutely.
And then, we make fun of it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We have fun along the way. So now we are here this weekend. In fact, it's Father's Day weekend.
Sure is.
And this is the time of the year where you get no love if you're a daddy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to move around the room first. You, Eclectic, then Deke, and then me. We're going to give our takes on why does Father's Day just don't get the love that mama always get.
I want to dance with my father.
Right.
Like there's a Father's Day song. Shout out to Luther.
Luther did one before he went out.
Yes, before he went on to be with the Lord.
With the Lord.
I mean, so I just think there's a different bond. Like when a woman has the child, so from birth, she has bore this child for 9 months, sometimes plus.
No charge.
Yeah, no charge. What Shirley said,
right.
For the 9 months I carried you, no charge.
Right.
So listen. She said all of your knowledge and all of your college. I'm sorry.
That's
that
funny.
Took me out. But anyway, so I think you built that bond with that child for 9 months. And I think fathers are awesome. I love fathers. I love my daddy. Shout out daddy. But I just think there's a different bond. There's a different connection, I think, between mothers and fathers. And fathers do have a duty. They have the duty to be a little more stern. They have a duty to keep you in line and keep you straight. There's a love aspect there, but sometimes there's a tough love aspect there. But no different love, but I just think the bonds are different. So you think of your mom, like, my mom was there thick and thin. Daddy was mad at me. Mama was mad at me, but she didn't go to bed. Mama was like, Mama gonna stand through it.
Still my baby.
Yeah, still my baby.
Right.
When fathers have to show that tough love, even some fathers may feel the same way as a mother, but again, they have to have that exterior. I think that's why it's so important to have both. I think it's also important to have both aspects in the home too. I think
absolutely.
I think you need that balance. So shout out to the fathers. I love your balance. I just think it's a different type of love that we receive.
But we can't even get. So growing up for you, what was it like? Because your father.
I grew up in a single mother household.
Okay.
So of course, me and my mama, that's my, I'm spoiled. But I also spoil my mother. My father, but I've always given Father's Day gifts. Like that's my thing. My mother and my grandma always made
elaborate.
Absolutely not.
That's what we after.
I'll be honest with y'all. I love my daddy to death, and as I'm getting older,
he gonna get this.
As I'm getting older, we're getting closer, and I just So, but I ain't gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Saw this so early today. I thought, dang, I didn't even realize. I was like, it's Juneteenth. Oh, and it's also Father's Day. I'm not gonna lie.
Juneteenth came first.
And so I was, soon soon as I saw this Father's Day topic, I was like,
on
okay,
Amazon.
let me go ahead and put a note. Siri, remind me 2 p.m. today. Order Father's Day gifts today on Amazon.
Wow.
Like, yes. Yeah, and Mother's Day is a little different. Mother's Day, you got flowers.
She got hers in May.
You know,
When is Mother's Day? Is it May?
Mother's Day is in May.
So she got hers in April.
She got hers, you know.
Yeah.
Her card is there already, you know. And so it is a little different.
Limo ride home from work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But mothers be putting in the work, you know. Mothers, but shout out to the fathers too.
Yeah.
Right? We appreciate you.
It's rough, man. But what about you, Deke? You grew up in a 2-parent household.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
to hear
So,
that.
okay, let's say, so eclectic, you knew your father growing up.
Absolutely, I know him all my life.
All your life.
Yeah.
Now, with Deke and Dirty, we all got different perspectives,
absolutely.
which is interesting. And Deke and Dirty, you grew up in a 2-parent household. So for you, how was it? Because I'm going to say this, in me knowing you as many years as I've known you, you do a lot of talking about your father.
Yeah.
You know, most people are like, yeah, my mom, because sometimes you're a mama's boy or whatever.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of talking about his father, and I've never heard a dude talk about his father as much as I
That's
hear
awesome.
Deke.
That's
So,
a
which
man's
means he
man.
has a. I don't want to give it. You tell it.
Well, because
Is your mic on?
yes.
Okay. I want everybody to hear this.
He kind of summed it up best. We all have a different bond with our mothers because we got here through them. So even before we see the light of day, we're still, you know, bonding with her.
Right. She feeding us and nourishing
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like she kind of got one up on Dad,
Just off GP.
Right.
But I think the reason why I give my father so much props is because growing up, I was a little bit closer to my mom.
Okay.
As I got older, I got more closer to my dad because he was showing me stuff and teaching me stuff that I needed to know.
Gotcha.
Like, not just stuff like dealing with cars or whatever, but just like carrying myself.
Like
like
manhood.
man.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay. Yeah.
when you leave the house, do this, do that. Whatever.
So he was giving you like out in the world lessons,
yeah,
how to manage
life lessons.
life.
Yeah.
There you go. There your life
Yes,
lessons.
yes.
So that's and then like to this day, like whenever you know I think about my childhood, like when I was hanging out with my friends and stuff, and they wanted to go do something stupid, I would always hear my dad's like voice in the back of my head, and I'm like, now why'd you do that?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So
Yep.
it would keep me from
Yep.
doing dumb
Dumb
stuff.
stuff,
And like
yes.
to this
Like
day,
you see this shoe? You know what I'm saying?
and I like chuckle because like that's funny because like he really did leave an impression on me.
That's
He don't even know
awesome.
it. Though.
Right.
So,
No, and like you just heard me say, in all this time that I've known you now at this point, these are the conversations I hear you have.
and I think you met my pops. He stopped by the station one day.
One time.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, yeah, my dad. I'm like, and I think one time, this was a whiles back when we were probably at the station, I thought I asked you something about your mother. I can't remember because I always heard him say, my dad. And
Well, she always asking about you, so.
probably because we was tight early on. We were traveling together, all that kind of stuff. So, but that's interesting because
Where you and Gary going at this?
right. Florida, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So that's interesting. For me, I grew up in not even a single parent because technically they was both parents, but they were grandparents. So I've seen that bond.
Okay.
I've seen that relationship. But as far as my mother, that would have been a single parent household because I didn't know my father for years with S's.
You saw Z's on that.
With Z's at the end. There you go. And so all my obviously bond went to my mother, even though that was strained and damaged because as I got older, I started realizing that there's a need that I have that she can't meet.
Absolutely.
And why are you not telling me about this guy that, you know, obviously at least did it to you twice. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
You got a brother and me. You know what I'm saying? At least did it twice. You know what I'm saying? So why we don't know nothing? So I started acting out. But it wasn't until years later for me. And in fact, it was 2010. So we're talking about elementary, junior high, high school, stint in college before I said, yeah, this ain't for me. My street life, everything, works, riding a bike, swimming. But it wasn't until 2010 that I met him and his side of the family. And it was like, dang, this is what was missing. You know, I mean, I knew it was missing, but You know how you do stuff when you suppress it and kind of put it away.
Absolutely, sure do.
So it lit up something in me for him when doing all that time. But it was a year and a half approximately because he died in 2012. But I would say the gift that I got was not me giving him the gift, which I probably did. He probably died a father, you know what I mean? But he gave me a gift because it was like, look at that spider coming down. You see it?
Yeah, he came on. Yeah, he came
Dang,
down.
that was Charlotte's Web. You know what I'm saying? Came down. You want to get on the show? Can y'all see that?
That's your pop.
I'm always.
He's like, I hear you, son.
You just gonna leave him right there.
What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Should I smack it?
If he getting his hands around,
Like, he gone for
I mean, it's all sentimental story, and I'm with it.
Right. But meanwhile,
I
got him. Going down. He gonna die, y'all. I think.
Let's pick this. Okay.
So as I was saying,
All right.
my pops. So I think I gave him the gift that he probably, maybe, possibly wanted his whole life, I guess. Because again, my very first conversation with my father, the initial conversation went like this: ring, ring, hello. He had this raspy kind of voice, and I said, yeah, can I speak to Bernard Bender? And he's like, yeah, this him. And I was like, this your son, Gary. Well, I'll be goddamn. And that's how the conversation just went from there. Like normal.
Your daddy said he was cool.
He was mad.
Anybody like that's cool. What you doing? What you up to?
That's how the conversation went.
Talk to you.
It wasn't no where you been.
I love it.
I miss you. The matter of fact, at the end of that conversation, he said, I love you.
Aww.
Which threw me off because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I said it back, but it was just weird because I was like, well, I ain't never had a, I mean, I've had a man.
With a question mark?
Well, I said it with, I said it right. I said it with a bit of trepidation, but at the same time, it was like, but I like that. It felt good.
It felt good.
Yeah,
it felt right. But
it felt right.
You had to break down some barriers within you too to realize you probably holding all this animosity.
But it was towards my mother.
Yeah,
I never held anything towards him.
Really?
Literally
awesome.
nothing. I hated him at no time. That was a weird thing. You know, most people are like, I can't, when I see him, I'm gonna punch him.
On sight.
You know what I'm saying? On sight, son. But it wasn't even like that. But
awesome.
So I think if we talking Father's Day and Father's Day gifts, I would like to believe that I gave him the gift of a son. You know what I mean? And what he gave me, because I was a father at that time, was the gift of a father. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I ain't mean to get sentimental. Sorry, y'all. That spider did something. You know what I'm saying? But no. So yeah. Anywho, y'all need to stop giving y'all fathers ties, man. We want sometimes we want a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And we tough and we play the role.
Yeah.
But gosh darn it. You know what I'm saying? Break us off with a little something.
And y'all deserve it. Like I said, y'all have a different type of love, but y'all absolutely deserve
engrave
it.
my name on a pen or something. Let me know.
You deserve a little bit more than that. You know what your father likes and his interests. You know, I think thoughtful. I think we think men, they just want a tie. But y'all want thoughtful gifts as well. So I'm with the thoughtful gifts.
Yeah, I'm with the thoughtful gifts.
I'm with it. Let me go ahead and order that on Amazon tonight. But I am with the thoughtful gift.
He gonna get this time. You know what I'm saying? If you know me, I'm a knick-knacky kind of person. I like things that are like, what you call it, gadgets.
Yeah.
Inspect the gadgets.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like. So, but I'm victim of it too because I got a tie set, and I was like, yeah. So okay.
Yeah, it's not to wear every day of the week.
I haven't worn one yet.
Okay.
No disrespect.
Well, hey, we out of the pandemic. You can wear you a tie now.
Yeah, you know I've been wanting to wear a tie, but I ain't had nothing to wear it to. So
well, we coming out of this. We in a new season. Come on.
Get y'all father something, y'all. Call them and say something real nice. Something. That's all we saying. All right, so Netflix and Monique just settled their lawsuits with one another for discrimination and retaliation. So both sides dismissed the case. What say ye? What say ye about that?
I don't know. It's been so long. I don't forget. Monique is
What's going on?
I never knew it. It's Monique and DL. It's Monique and Netflix. It's Monique and Tyler.
Steve
it's
Harvey,
Monique and everybody.
Oprah.
I hear a theme here.
Is that theme?
Monique is the common denominator in all of these. What's the other man?
What's that T-shirt they wear? Like Detroit versus everybody.
Monique versus my
Everybody.
sweet babies. Her sweet. Well, does she?
My sweet baby.
I have questions, but I don't even know how to. So did she get a Netflix special?
They have not
Have they
announced
settled on
what was I guess agreed upon in the settlement, but they at least agreed to dismiss each case. So I don't know if that means somewhere along the line Netflix is going to give her one, which they was offering her one initially.
But it's just that she didn't want the. Who was the
It was
young
the
lady?
money.
She was Amy. Was Amy
Schuler.
So it was her.
Yeah.
I call her Schuler. I don't know
Schuler.
what it-
That's
I'm
Schuler
all
the
black.
king.
Amy Schuler. You know, act like my grandma. That baby.
All right,
But
they're gonna syphilize your name.
they're gonna be real.
You know what I'm saying? That is too funny.
So what comes out of this? So they both settle.
Mm-hmm.
They both settle. So nothing happened. So like no funds. It's pretty. It's a wipe.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if there's any funds again because nothing was really announced to what they.
So my question with this, and I'm really okay with you standing up for your worth, and I'm okay
course.
with you, I guess, with you negotiating,
Mm-hmm.
because I think as black people we don't do that enough. I was actually in the store the other day, and I had a manager, and he was asking the guy, it was a piece of equipment that was damaged. He was like, "So what is your offer?" And it was a black guy. He was like, "I don't know." A white guy would have been up there, well, I'll give you $200 for it. Like,
Right,
they're very
right.
confident in negotiating and all that. And I don't think we do that enough with the black culture. Even when you're coming out of college and going to corporate America or whatever, knowing your worth and your value.
Yeah.
And negotiate. We don't even know that it's possible to negotiate a salary.
I agree. Said I don't even think we.
Yeah, and I didn't. I mean,
even
I
taught
honestly,
in that kind of way.
I honestly didn't know when I first got out of college that I could actually negotiate this salary and make it more than what it was. Actually, I think it was my recruiter who gave me more. I guess he said this.
He's like, look.
Yeah, it was like, but I think
Come
it's
here.
sad that we don't know that or we don't have those discussions. Now,
Yeah.
once I learned the people that I brought in underneath me, I told them,
Like,
you
look,
negotiate the heck out of that when you go in that room. But I think as a culture, we don't do it enough. So I'm not mad at Monique for knowing her worth.
Right,
I'm
right,
not
right.
mad at Monique for trying to negotiate. It's more the drama that comes with Monique that I can't do.
Right.
And it's
I
just
think
like-
that's what most people.
So, because I'm saying, what was
And
the
it's
value
done,
out
it's
of
done
this?
in a sweet way.
Yes, her sweet babies, my sweet babies. What she said the other day, if you're not my sweet babies, you're going to become my sweet babies. I wanted to say, what is going on in that
Like,
house?
what's happening?
Do y'all have a camera? Just blink your eye for help.
That's funny.
But yeah, I'm just saying what came out of it. Like if you both negotiated, whatever, nothing happened, you wash your hands of it. So what happens? All that was for nothing?
It seemed like it would ultimately be because, if you gonna do that, raise up all that fuss, or kick up all that dust.
Yeah,
something has to
should
come
happen.
out of it. Yeah.
Well, I hope she. Now, but let me put this to it. I was talking about a little bit on my show too, but I don't know if I ever said I like Monique. I
Of
think
course.
she's hilarious.
Monique
like,
is dope.
I watched Roscoe's Welcome Home, Roscoe
Welcome Home,
Jenkins.
yeah.
It's another holiday movie she has. Don't get me wrong.
And we were just talking about that
Monique
one.
is
Yeah.
hilarious. Like she makes some of the movies. Like she is freaking hilarious. It's just the personal drama that comes along that I could do away with.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's doing anything for the culture. I don't know if she's helping or hindering female comedians coming after her. I don't know what this brings about.
That's good. That's really something to think about because how does it benefit? I'm getting mine after Deke. What you think, Deke?
I kind of share the same opinion because you and I have talked about this before. When Dio kind of gave his response
GED.
on the GED section, and he was like, he kind of gave her a chance. Maybe it's everybody else, but once he got to work with her, yeah, he finally got it. Well, it wasn't this person, it wasn't that person, it wasn't. It's you.
Yep.
I want her to get her money. I want every person that works hard to get their money, especially if they earned it. But
Facts.
I'm with the collective on this one. Like all the other stuff, man. Can you just come on now?
Yeah.
You're talking about people's families. You bring
Oh, she did.
his daughter into it.
Yeah,
Dio's
ridiculous.
daughter,
Wife,
yes.
his dog.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
The dog?
Yeah, I think even the dog, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, the roof was just trying to chill.
Like, I'm just out here. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I think Monique is funny. I can't give you much of her comedy stand-up stuff because, sometimes some comedians, they don't have a takeaway.
Right.
Like right now, if I said right now.
What is it, Velvet?
I could take one of her comedies, but like, well, I can't say it on TV, on the thing.
You give us the,
when she was at the Queens of Comedy and she was talking about dates, she was like, all that. I said, I'm sorry. Like, there's some things that I can quote from her. Like,
okay.
Yeah, but that was from the female version
the
of
Queens
the
of
Queens
Comedy.
of Comedy.
Yeah. All right, well, see, honestly, I can't, and that's no shade to her. I just really can't, but I can't do that with other comedians too. Like if I threw out something right now, they're gonna learn today. It's automatic. You know what I'm saying?
That was game changing.
Right. You know what I mean? It's just certain things. Like when I said a little earlier, Chip, no. You know what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle. You just know.
He was in DC.
There you go. You just know certain things, even though that's something that didn't catch on, but. You're right. It's just something that stood out when he was doing one of his stand-ups. But but as an actress, I think she's dope. I think she's a dope actress.
Really is.
She's good. But like you said, whatever's happening personally, I was saying maybe, and I say this with respect, after the death of Monique. And I'm not meaning no time soon.
Big girl Monique. You talking about her real death? I thought you meant the death of the big Monique to the spot. I went deep with that one.
She went Cousteau on us. She's like, so what you philosophizing? You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about the physical. And that was all it. I was like, okay, what you ready to go here?
I think you don't know where he going. You know what I'm saying?
Never mind. I'm over here.
Funny. After the physical death, I think that's when we probably will get it. Sometimes you don't.
Took her out already?
No, I'm not. Again, I don't want it to be no time soon. But sometimes stuff don't catch until after the fact.
Oh, that's what happened.
Like, so she really was paving a way, because her whole thing is paving the way for the young, black sisters to come up after her and yada yada yada. Right now, we're looking at it somewhat almost like sometimes the way we look at Kanye. You're like, yeah, dude. But somewhere along the line, there's something that may have been sparked because of it. In the brain.
We didn't like
in the mind.
Well, they didn't like MLK when he was alive,
right?
So that's a good point.
Tupac even said, he says, now I might not do. I'm gonna paraphrase it. Something about I might not be able to
change the world
right now, but the spark will change the world, right? So it may be something that she said that hit some young person,
so. I didn't think about
and
that
they
way.
move on to be.
That'd be awesome.
And now you're starting to see the rise and the prominence of the black actors and actresses.
I think we'll know from. It's all about her intentions. I think so. If her real intentions are good, prayerfully, that's what will happen.
And she's also a lot of the comments is always about the husband. Like, is he pulling these strings? Like, what is happening with this dude? That he, like what does he do? Because even the last thing with the DL that you mentioned, they're talking about the contract, and I heard somebody saying, but her husband was the one who drew up the contract.
Is he her manager?
I think he's supposed to be, or is, or something like that.
Okay.
So I don't know the inner workings of their situation. So, but whatever it is that's happening right now is ruffling feathers. Hopefully, we'll look up and. We'll come across our Netflix and social medias that she they worked out a deal.
I hope so. I would like to see a Netflix special.
She should be
I would
one.
watch it. Now, one thing about publicity is publicity, whether it's negative or positive, it's publicity. So if she get a Netflix special, it's gonna be number one. So hopefully that's what will happen out of it. Like I said, her being a black woman and pushing the agenda, I'm with that if her intentions are good. I'm told go Monique, go for it. But you already been blackballed once. Now, listen.
Well, here's the real test. I think possibly. 50 has said, "Hey, I'm gonna put her in something."
Oh, he is right. He's put her, isn't she like BMF or something?
Is that what she's in?
I think so. Yeah.
So I guess the real test, to a degree, would be what does she do there?
Well, you already talked about. She's an excellent actress.
Well, I'm talking about, in other words, will there be any antics that people will be like, "Yo, I can't even work with her." Yeah, like she hard to work with. Oh, I see what everybody's saying.
Because like the BMF has such a good camaraderie.
That's a dope, Yeah,
I mean, it's such a good show. You interview some of them, I interview some. Like, they're dope people, and they seem to really enjoy each other set as well. There's just good energy there. So I hope she doesn't shift that energy. Like, Tasha's on there. Like, I've watched them out there behind the scenes. And they look like they have a good time on set. Of course, that's just what we see on camera.
Of course.
The EP of the show?
Who? Yeah, she is. Oh, man, she's killing. That's black
I think
girl
she's
magic.
also directed.
Yeah, she
some of-
is.
yeah.
So shout out to her. That's black girl magic all day, every day,
Please
right
don't get on
there.
there and start clowning.
Yeah, I'm
No,
about
no,
to
I'm
say.
saying,
Well, I feel
get on
like,
and do
but
right,
I
man.
honestly feel like the Tasha we know is also the one that we know from
That we
Why Not
also
Get
know.
Married.
Right.
And I feel like if something got there, I
Not
feel like
on this set.
She ain't no my sweet baby. She ain't no my sweet baby. I
Right,
feel
right.
like she would. Hopefully, they would have a sister to sister meeting. Be like, hey, sis, come on.
Listen.
Meet me in my trailer.
Right. In the honey wagon.
But this, I don't think. I'm not a huge 50 Cent fan, but I respect that man. That man is about
The
his
hustle
money,
is
it's about
real,
his
man.
paper.
Yeah.
So I don't think 50 Cent is somebody you want to mess with. That is like he's like the king of petty.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think so. That's the if you ever go get somebody's bad side.
We gonna know.
Yeah, we gonna know. So I hope, man, I hope all.
You
is
gonna
well
see I
with it.
tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all saw me.
I've never heard anybody say. It's always been more of on the director level or the corporate level. I've never heard of another actor. Is that besides DL? But before this, has anybody really said it was hard working with Monique? Like,
Well, you had mentioned that Christmas movie, and we were talking about that off mic, and I thought that some people had. I thought there was some kind of chitter chatter about that
come on.
one.
I was trying to take up for. She's hilarious.
She's a great actress. I like Monique. She's from Baltimore, it's Maryland, quite, the section in which, but it's up there.
But
It's
it's
still
up there.
Maryland, you know what I'm saying? And so I've rep people from Baltimore, Virginia.
Baltimore, put your guns up.
Right. Especially you from the northern region of Virginia. You know what I mean? I show love, you know what I mean?
Well,
So I rep for the city or what do you call it? The Tri-City. I rep for it. So I want us to win for real. You
no,
know what
absolutely. I hope it all works out. And again, I hope our intentions are good.
I mean? Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, you spoke about this one on your podcast, your remix podcast.
Oh, yeah, I think we spoke off camera, but hey,
What was off
It
camera?
was off. I think it was off camera.
Was it?
I think it was off camera.
I don't know. Okay. I thought
but it might have been knowing you. You always video.
I was recording.
Yeah,
but
you
I coulda
always
swore
recording.
you mentioned it.
I
during
did
the
mention it.
taping.
No, I don't think it was during the taping though. But it's probably on camera.
Okay. All right. What about to be? We were talking about. Well, you guys were talking about somehow another abortion. I believe came up, right? And it was a very candid conversation.
Absolutely.
And so, of course, as a believer, you have stances or
Absolutely.
beliefs, rather, not
Absolutely.
stances, but beliefs
Absolutely.
that we just have. And then you say, but then there are mitigating circumstances that could,
Hey, Lord.
justify,
Yeah, absolutely.
at least
Absolutely.
earthly,
Absolutely.
justify why you would say that it's okay to get it, for a female to get an abortion.
Right.
So this woman ordered to pay child support to the man who raped her when she was 16.
I'm over
so
it.
she was 16 years
I'm
old.
over it
I
already.
think he was 30 when she got pregnant. And you said, well, why is she paying child support? Because he was unaware of the child.
So she was supposed to call him and say, "Hey, I know you raped me, but we have a child."
Right. Excuse me. And I think by this time the child is 6 when he learns of the child, and now he's like, "Wait, I got a child out here. Well, I want custody." So he fought for custody, and so as you heard me say, the woman is ordered to pay child support. What you got to say about that? How you feel? Like, tell them how you feel,
I want
Rick.
to curse, but because. So first of all, was this statutory rape or was this regular rape? Like, did you?
Well, that's interesting.
Did you? Because
I need to see the breakdown on this.
I need to see a breakdown.
No, I'm
because,
talking about, what's the difference?
because statutory rape is consensual. It just means that I was too young.
I got you.
So that was a consensual.
Wow, dude, you just hit me over the head with that one, but I got you.
Yes, so that's
yeah.
that's a whole different scenario. Not saying that either one is right, but what I'm saying is maybe I can look at this case a little bit different.
Right.
If
Like, in
it
other
was-
words, if she was
16 and maybe he thought she was 21 or 16 in general, he didn't care, but there was a consensual, even though
I
a
got
30-year-old, that's still, you still manipulating.
Right,
them.
right,
But
right.
anyway, but at
That's
least
not a conversation you could have.
Yeah, but at least I could maybe see why this,
I see what you're saying.
but if you actually raped her,
Mm-hmm.
who was the judge? I hate to say this because his Father's Day is around the corner, but it had to be a man. I mean, no, I just don't know.
You saying the judge had to be a man.
don't know a woman who would sit there knowing the anatomy of your body, knowing that what it would feel like for you to be violated,
right?
And to order somebody to pay child support because she didn't tell the man who raped her. First of all, she ordered to pay child support. Why was he not convicted of rape? That there are so many with the statute of limitations over. There are so many underlying questions here that I mean the law is messed up. That's number one. The court system has failed us.
The law is what's the word? Is it prejudicial? Is that a word?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Man, them Google.
It's prejudice, right?
Yo,
the law is prejudice.
But who is it prejudice toward?
Bias.
Bias
okay.
Toward men and toward specifically white men. I mean, to say who is it? I don't know the color of these people.
I believe it was a white.
Okay, I'm honestly I'm perplexed, but I shouldn't be. Knowing how the law is and knowing that it is a messed up judicial situation or system, I should say, I shouldn't be appalled, but some things just make you appalled. And this is one of them. I would have to really know the underlying facts to understand why. So are they sharing the child? Or did you really give?
It was a 50-50 custody.
So you gave, I don't know if the child was but let's just say the child is a little girl. So you gave a little girl to a man who raped a 16-year-old.
Yeah, it was a daughter.
I'm over it. I have no more words.
Yeah.
But the judge needs to be judged.
Yeah. And then on top of that, having I would say young lady at this point, because 6 years later, was that 23?
So you gave a child to somebody who is a known rapist,
right?
A little girl
who could essentially be a pedophile.
Who could essentially, he was I'm over it. That is this world is we going to hell. We living in our last days. I'm so over it. Maybe maybe you need to get an attorney on the show for this one. Maybe
True.
I would love to break down the facts. I'm really
perplexed.
A lot of things don't perplex me, but this one is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird because, like you said, was it consensual? But according to even the title alone, but sometimes that's clickbait. But it's
clickbait, yeah.
But it said rape when she was 16 years old, so that means he took it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Which resulted in a pregnancy, and now he's fought for custody, and now this is 6 years later, fought for custody, and now she is paying him child support for something she was victimized by. She's been victimized twice.
I hope they appeal that. Now, what I'm thinking is maybe she had a court-appointed attorney. I mean, there's got to be, and maybe he's had money, or maybe he's affluent. And there's got to be some other influence in this case. I've got to.
I should have looked at what city. I didn't see what.
I'm looking at an article right now.
Oh, you see it?
Tell us, D.
Yeah, and if this is the same story.
Help me.
Here it says Louisiana.
Oh, that explains. You don't even have to say anymore. That explains so much.
And it says here the man basically it wasn't consensual.
It was not consensual. And she's paying child support. Yeah. Wow.
So if this is the same case,
the
state is Louisiana, which I wanted to know where was this judge.
Yeah.
Is it a man
sitting at? That part I haven't read.
They just saying Judge Hammond, so you don't know the first name. You can't tell if it's a man or a woman.
That sounds about Louisiana, right?
And I don't know. I just made up Judge Hammond.
I love Louisiana, but Louisiana. I don't know. Somebody gonna come for me.
Louisiana, we don't want no problems.
If I keep talking, somebody gonna come for me. But no, it's say.
What city in Louisiana?
It's getting bad.
Is it?
Dig over there reading what? It was
First of all, Louisiana had these cities with these Indian names, so I can't really pronounce it.
Gotcha.
What's start off with?
Ponchatoula or something like that.
Ponchatoula.
Don't shoot me.
Okay, I don't know where that is.
It's in the boot. That's all I know. But yeah, it wasn't consensual.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woman loses custody of her daughter to her alleged rape. Wow, that's
so she loses to her
Girl,
rapist.
start a GoFundMe
to
because
win
you
now
got
the
some
man.
women. I will help you start a GoFundMe because this is ridiculous. I'm like literally upset.
Yeah.
Like this is ridiculous. So start you a GoFundMe and
Uh-oh,
go.
there's
You
more.
got a lot of people who will. What is more?
We'll get
To
behind that.
answer your and you were on point with this one, Judge Jeffrey.
Yeah, no woman. No woman. I don't care.
What's wrong with you, Jeff?
I don't care what
Jeffrey
nationality
Cash,
you are.
I think that's
Ooh,
how you
but
pronounce
look,
it.
let me okay.
Dang.
This like Texas has some backward cities. Louisiana has some too.
I'm sure there's some here in Georgia.
Absolutely, we are in Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah. Dang.
What nationality were these people?
Let's see. Give me a minute. I'll find it.
All right. I'm over this.
It'll be interesting. Hey, Creole.
Louisiana's very racist. I did not know that until I knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been there. I didn't experience any. But
No, not in New Orleans. Not if you
Oh,
go
yeah,
to the
yeah,
fun
I've been
part.
in-
No,
yeah.
you gotta go
To the
deep
fun part.
down in the boot deep.
there they are. There, you see it?
Hell yeah.
They Creole. What are they?
Bless her heart though. I really feel bad for the young lady. That makes, and I honestly bet
The
she,
dude ought not even be opening his mouth. He ought to just, if
I
he gonna
bet-
get the child, get the
Oh,
child.
but did he know the judge? Like I said, is he a man of influence? And then she happens to be this.
That's
probably,
his cousin.
Probably, right? Y'all want to get me off of Louisiana right now. And there's some other things I want to say too. I like Louisiana.
I do too.
Oh, and I don't want nobody coming for me. Because like I said, I'm from Texas, and I know there's some backwoods cities in Texas.
Wow. Well, maybe she will appeal.
I pray she will
And
get you some money. Get some money.
get custody
I have
back.
a feeling that I have a feeling that she lives in poverty or something like that. It has to be some type of circumstance.
low-
So that's
low
why I
income
said,
situation.
Get you some support. Get some backing behind you. I'm gonna help you. Call me.
Call her. That's DJ Miss Eclectic.
Yes. Go ahead. DJMissEclectic at gmail.com.
Right.
Girl, hit me. I'm serious, girl. Hit me up. That's crazy.
So-
Eclectic the activist
Right.
That's ridiculous.
slash DJ.
Right?
Slash
We're not
entrepreneur.
we're not
Right.
gonna stand for that. You know, I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We
She got all them behind her.
yes.
Florida Diamond.
We believe in
Right.
social. Right? So listen. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Social action, we believe in that.
I feel you.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy. All right. I titled this one "Break in Case of Emergency."
Okay. I thought that when I was reading, I was like, okay, maybe they want a break in case.
You got to go to the bathroom.
I didn't know what the emergency was.
You got to pee. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta go.
Right. That is funny. I titled it this because we've all heard this. Break in case of emergency.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna ask you. I don't know how to ask Deke, and you'll find out in a second. So once I ask her, you'll say, "Oh yeah, I get
Okay.
it."
Exactly, you have to clarify.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
me and Deke both
Once I
like-
ask the question, you'll know.
We both like, okay.
So I was having this conversation not long ago with someone female who has this guy who has interest in her,
okay.
but she's not interested in him.
Okay.
And I was saying, well, you know, why do you go like out to eat and yada yada yada? I said, you remember when I said that thing you said, dating for a steak?
I was going to say, she dating for a steak.
And I said that, so
I
you
ain't
dating
mad
for a
at
steak?
it. I ain't mad at it.
And so she kind of downplaying it, but at the same time, kind of like.
I ain't mad
And I said,
at it.
but why are you wasting his time if he's trying to get at you because he wants to settle and blah 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 blah. Now he may want to play, but maybe he's telling her these things, but maybe want to ultimately get her and then still move around. I don't know, but nonetheless, she says she's not interested. And I said, well, why are you still holding on to like leading him on in a sense? Entertaining.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you. Perfect word. And I said, is this a breaking case of emergency? Those weren't the words that I used. I said, is this a penis in a glass jar? You break in case of emergency. In other words, when all else fails, you don't diss your backup plan.
Okay.
Do you have a backup plan?
Everyone. Who said
Does it
Angie
make-
Stone said every woman's got a backup plan.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
It's a song. Yeah.
So break in case of emergency.
So, but her backup was more of, is she dating anybody else? That's the only guy she's dating.
No, I think she's possibly dating.
She's just keeping him.
It's that if all of life,
fails.
if he don't settle down, and I guess if the clock ticks a little too much, but you're settling with somebody you don't
I'm
feel.
no different, so I don't.
Okay.
I don't because I don't. Don't get me wrong. Like her, I have dated guys who I know it wasn't going anywhere. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
But I'm hungry.
Shoot me if you want to. I have dated for a steak. Okay, so listen. Sometimes you want the finer things in life, you can't go get them yourself, and so you like.
I want lobster.
I want lobster,
With Chris, right?
but I got Wingstop money. So
Red Lobster.
I don't want no.
I don't
biscuits
want the
today.
tail. I want the whole
thing. I don't want no cheddar bay biscuits today.
That's funny.
Like,
You want to pick it out the tank like that one.
Yeah.
I mean, most with.
The spotted one.
Right.
Yeah, I want market price food. Anyway, so I think probably a lot of what we have done that.
So
we've
you
gone
have
out.
done it.
I have gone. Oh, absolutely. I ain't gonna lie. I absolutely have gone out with guys where I know it wasn't going anywhere. Kind of like we talked on the show. You know,
right.
dating just a date. I have done that. But at the same time, I don't keep them as a backup plan because I know for me, I am alone, but I am not lonely. So I'd rather, and I thank God that I have friends, I have sorority sisters, I have family. I thank God for that. And so I would rather, I pray, Lord, I don't want to speak this out. You know, I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. But I'm saying I'd rather do that.
Hear me and hear me
Hear
good.
right? But I'd rather do that than to settle with somebody I don't like that.
Gotcha.
I don't even want to kiss him. I don't really want, I'm around him. It's cool. He has money and it's okay. And we can go get the
and you'll
lobster
be
when I go
good.
get it.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just push myself, move forward with my ambition and get my own lobster. Like, so I'd rather do that versus, settling with somebody. But there are a lot of women with a backup plan.
With the backup plan.
Now I'm not gonna say you always have that guy in the corner that you know he really does like you. And if you want it, we all have that. Now of course, we all have that guy that's like he's around but he's not around.
My God.
And if you wanted to settle, that you know that you could call him today and he'd probably be like, come on back. Now personally, I just don't want to settle. But
how cool is that though?
It's not.
How cool or how uncool is that?
It depends on how you communicate that to the guy. If you are real, like me, and you say, hey, we not gelling. Like, we are not going to make it. Like, me and you are a no-go. But if the guy says, well, I know we a no-go, but I still want to take you to go eat this steak, do you not go eat the steak? All right, do you
start listening to them hunger pains?
Or do you say, hey, I told you, so hey, that's on you at this point?
Maybe he thinking he can, in a sense, wear you down.
Yeah, but
in a sense.
there's no way.
If I just keep giving you these Mac Daddy vibes.
Yeah, girl, hey, I know you're gonna fall for me, girl.
Right.
Like, no, I have a true relationship with God. So I talked to God, and I've told a guy before, like, he was like, you the one. I was like, yeah, but God didn't communicate that to me. He was like, how do you know? I was like, because I talk to God. Like, I don't just go to church, but I talk to him. Like, he reveals things to me in a certain way. He don't come down and be like, Chantel. But he communicates things align. For me and God, things align.
Right.
So if things don't align here, you're not the one. And so, but if I tell you all this and you still want to be in this backup corner plan, I don't feel bad. But
Put
on
me
the
in,
other,
coach.
on the other end, if the girl goes out with the guy and all this, but she never communicates that to him, and he thinks that he really does have a chance, I think that's where it's wrong.
That's where it's wrong. But as long as he knows,
And then some people might be saying you wrong for that because he knows.
and you still,
Hey, I'm still a woman.
You're like, but come on.
I'm still a woman at the end of the day. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm still human.
Because is it because he's doing the things that you like, even though you don't like him? Like taking you out.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't
buying
want
you the
who
expensive.
doesn't want to go on a date? Who doesn't want, like, if you're just being real with yourself, who doesn't want the expensive gifts? Who doesn't want to go on a date? Who doesn't want to, hey, we could do, you want to do, if a guy's into you, he's like, oh yeah, whatever you want to do. So you gonna do whatever I
like
want to
London,
do? Yeah. So you telling me?
Paris.
But I would,
Look at my passport.
but I'll be highly honest with you, all jokes aside, honestly, that gets old. And after a while, it really gets
You
old
mean
after
it
a while.
for you?
Yeah, it gets
got
old.
you,
And the
okay.
whole thing, because you're like, wow, this guy, he's really relentless. He's, his thoughts haven't changed. Like, even though I've said, hey, this is not for us, he still has these strong feelings, and you still have the same feelings you had to me. Like, you haven't changed me.
Right.
And so it gets to the point where, like, you know what? Why don't you go spend your time and spend your energy with somebody who reciprocates?
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. I know I'm doing this just to mess with you, see what you're gonna say. Okay, suppose after all is said and done, he gets the picture, he's out, and for some strange reason you miss him.
Like, my phone don't ring anymore.
What you mean? He's not texting me 100 times.
He's not liking my pictures anymore.
And I think
Because that's what you ultimately will miss.
absolutely, and
That's a good. That's
a
good.
good question. That's honestly because you be like, oh man, he ain't texting no more. He ain't come. But that's ego.
Who
that
am
has
I?
nothing. That has nothing to do with the heart. That is ego.
Nothing whatsoever.
Nothing
You're right.
whatsoever.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was because he was pushing your ego up at
It
the
stroked
time.
your
You was
ego.
stroking your ego. You was like, I know, I still got it. After you're 30, sometimes you gotta be like,
You
no,
know
I
they
still
want
got
me.
it. Yeah, I know somebody who want me. So that's all it was. That was just a stroke of
Yeah,
ego.
that's true.
And after
That's
a while,
true.
that will fade away too. You be like, oh, he
Wow.
called. And then when he called, you gonna feel the same way again. Oh my God, why is he calling?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
And I can't explain why we like this.
You know what I'm talking about? That's exactly what it would be. You start off with, and that's true.
It's true.
No, that's
It's
100%
so
true.
true.
Because you get so used to, like me, I don't like to get used to stuff, and that's probably because of the way I grew up. Because we moved around. I mean, one time, one of my mans, he was like, "Yo, is your mother? Your mother on the run?" Because we would move. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That's cold. Like, let me call him.
But it was fun. At the time, it was funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Could she be?
be a mama?
But yeah, those kind of things, it gets old at the time, because that's why I say I don't like to get used to something, and maybe it's because of the upbringing of the moving around,
That's
that stuff wouldn't be on the walls and stuff. Like, I didn't like to do much. Not that there was 1,000 places we moved, but it was just quite a few places. And so even now, I'm like, I don't like to get used to something. Like, if you started doing something for me, I'm probably going to start kind of moving away from it after a while, because I'm like, I don't want to get used to that.
So how does that work with you in a long-term relationship? You don't want to get used to it. So you like, oh, we getting too close, girl. Going over here.
But I think we should divorce.
Dang.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I do know what it is. I don't know like when it'll kick in, but I know what it is from the initial start, which is what I'm saying right now.
Does it have to do with expectations and not being disappointed?
That's part of it.
yeah, come
That's
on.
good, Dick. Okay.
Come on, Deke.
I think we need to pull up a couch.
They're gonna have a session after this.
Like it then. You know what I'm saying?
I was watching the TED talk before I came in.
I was looking at Dr. Field, and he had said, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a good question. That's part of it.
Never having
Because
to,
when you don't have an expectation, it's never, and I'm not talking about expectation for, the studio or whatever. I'm talking about from a relationship sort of situation. Perspective. I don't raise the level of expectation, so you will never, ever be able to disappoint me.
So at what point
Because if you do, I'm going to start looking at you different.
Bless her heart.
And if I start looking at you different, then I'm going to start feeling different. And if I start feeling different, then I'm going to start acting different. And it usually happens in that order.
In that order.
Yeah.
I done raised my expectations. I done thought too much.
Right,
of
you said you was going to do, and then you don't
you
do.
done let it down.
Or it could be small,
And little
pilly.
stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, so I prefer nothing. You know what I mean? Just do normal. You know what I mean? Don't do anything that's going to, I don't know, give me some kind of giddy feeling. Because now I'm like, where's the crack? I want more. You know what I'm saying? I want to get that feeling again. And now you're not giving it to me.
Ladies, to keep G Wade, you got to keep feeding them that crack.
You gotta
It's
get
like
crack.
you can't fall off.
Serve me. You know what I'm saying?
Just boo every now and then.
Right. There you go. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting. But I think I have been the penis in the glass jar, breaking in case of emergency. Because if I get the call,
You going? Well, you a man. Oh, you
That
want?
phone.
Oh, it's 2 a.m. Okay, I'll be over there.
I'm about to leave the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And I think I've also had she gonna always be right there.
Yep.
Type
So
of
you
thing.
saying.
She ready?
All I gotta do is be like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And dong, 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 or whatever the case
So
is.
I know, guys. I'm gonna say y'all do it too.
I think it works on both ends, but I don't think people willing to be honest about it. Because if you be honest about it, it's like Corinne Steffens. She was talking. I saw on a podcast. She was talking about her involvement with Lil Wayne, and she says, "I don't care who I'm involved with. If he calls, I'm getting out of my bed, our bed, and I'm going to him."
She will.
You know what I'm saying? That's funny. And so that's one of those things. It's like
Lil Wayne have, because he gets a lot of beautiful women. And I look at this young man, and I just want to know.
See, this is my message, and I'm gonna preach this one day. It's called "However."
However,
You get it? Black and ugly as ever. However, that's the message right there. Most people just want to focus on the but it's the however. When you get to however, that's when
it
things
must be
change.
however, because I'm okay. However, that's
It's like when you see a very beautiful woman with a,
So.
so dude or a guy that you probably wouldn't normally see her with. Like, what does that dude have? Like, why is she with that guy?
I honestly think Lil Wayne is very intelligent.
Of course,
he is.
yeah.
I mean,
I
he
don't
went back to
believe
school. He owns businesses, degree, all that. So I figure it's got to be his personality.
He's from Louisiana,
It's
by the
got
way.
to be. Yeah, he is. Shout out.
Right.
I love Louisiana, but it's just a certain.
I'll be there next week.
Parts, right? But I mean, I'm just saying all the mothers of his children are beautiful, and his kids are beautiful too. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a Reginator grew up to be a really pretty young lady.
Yep.
I think all
So-
of them are cool, right?
Yeah, and they all cool. So I said it must be something about his personality.
Yeah.
But she said
He just seems like he's cool.
He does seem cool.
Yeah.
But I actually had a friend in college. She was in love with Lil Wayne. I'm like, girl, you okay?
Girl,
Yeah.
you're
But
21.
now the boy's lyrics are dope.
Right.
And the boy, but I mean, he be doing something.
She's saying this now.
She a
But if they ever meet-
wee.
What you doing? I'm in the.
I'm in the fourth ward.
You know, Lil Wayne.
You heard?
He's too skinny for me.
That
So
is
you
too
know.
funny. Oh, we know your type. We discovered that last time.
I guess he has an appeal. Like,
Oh, absolutely. But he's definitely got swag or whatever. Absolutely.
Right, right.
I mean, the person, I don't know him, but he seems like a dope person. I don't know him.
So you wouldn't keep a man in a glass jar because you wouldn't want nobody hanging on strings.
Yeah, it's man, like God does not allow me to be petty and I'll be mad about it sometimes.
I
I'll
wanna
like,
be a
Lord, I just want to be a smidge petty, and it did, like stuff like that would weigh
You
on
mean
me.
like get a trip to Europe?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I mean I've had a trip. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I've had like trips in front of me, and I'm like, no, that would absolutely be wrong. Like
'cause
in
how many rooms?
Yeah, and because at that point, then there, like you said,
The
then there's gonna be an
expectation.
expectation
Of course.
at that point, and I'm still not into you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the perks of it all. At the end of the day, I'm not into you, so it's
Yeah.
wrong. And then sometimes I wish I could be that person, like who could marry somebody just because they were rich or married. Sometimes I be wondering, like, why do you judge? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you have a heart? Why you have a soul?
Right,
Like, you know,
right.
sometimes I don't want to have one. Like, that's just,
You can learn to love
I'm
them.
just being real. Yeah, that's what people say, but I'm
Yeah.
like, nah.
she don't want to get flued out.
She don't wanna
right,
get
I wanna
flued out, right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
so that's because that is like I have to dedicate that to God. I have to give him the credit. He is the reason I don't do that. The human side of me be like, let's do that all day. But he'll put something in me, be like,
Australia.
Yeah. He be like, no, you know you're wrong.
Right.
You want me to bless you with your husband, but you out here, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, Lord.
Yeah.
Don't call me no more. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
So what do you do? I mean, do you tell them straight up, and then however they continue to pursue?
I'm a straight up type of person. Like most guys I date, they're like, you're different. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So yeah.
No.
So I'm the kind of girl your mama loves, like, cause I'm a church girl. I'm like, oh, she's no, the baby can't cook. We have to get in that kitchen. But other than that, yes, marry her. But I tell them straight up, hey, like I've had a conversation with a dude, and I was like, hey, you know, I think it's awesome that you think I'm awesome. I think I'm awesome.
And that's awesome too.
But hey, you know, there's no, I don't reciprocate the type of feelings that you have. Like,
Wow.
Like, and I've had that. It was a hard conversation, and he did not take it well. And he
You're
didn't take
not as awesome.
And I said, it's not me, it's not you, it's me.
Right. That's the line.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
say, you say stuff like that. And I'm like, it's okay. Like I told one dude, as I think about it, I was like,
giving you his best.
I was
Mario.
like,
you should let me love
I was like,
you.
I'll DJ. I was like, I'll DJ your wedding. Like,
for free. This will help. You know what I'm saying?
The whole time you doing the first dance, he's
Right.
looking across the dance.
yeah, I was like, dude, you're so wrong for that. I was like, I'll DJ your wedding.
Oh, man.
You said it's a destination wedding, right?
You flying me out there?
Right. She's getting flued out now.
First class.
His wife, like, how do you know her?
Right. Well, that's funny.
But yeah, I was blatantly honest, man. Because I just feel like if you don't, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If you're persistent enough, I just have to be honest with you. Hey. Especially if you're not on the same page with me, like just dating today. If we on the same page and there are no expectations, that's different. But when you start having that expectation, it starts becoming apparently clear.
Now he started putting a hand on the small of your back.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and then as a woman too, you gotta start thinking about your safety at that point.
Like he liked me,
This nigga crazy. This nigga gonna be at my back. No.
I want you to sit on this side. No, I'm fine over here. You know what I'm saying?
It's a big couch.
Right. Netflix and what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
I on the Chase Lounge.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do it either. Because again, I don't want them to have an expectation. And two, if I don't like you like that, I'm probably not going to like you.
That's the thing. I'm not going to like you. You can't force me to like you like that. There has to be an attraction. What's the song? It says something beauty, something attraction. Now that's something different. Like attraction is something different. You can't make me be attracted to you.
Right. I always say, a person can be attractive, but that don't mean I'm attracted.
Oh, the song says I think beauty's overrated because it's something anybody can be. Attraction now, that's something different.
That's different, yeah.
That's, I couldn't think of the song.
I like that.
Yeah, I was like, that's true. Attraction is different. Like somebody that I'm attracted to, you might not be. Another woman might not be attracted to. I'm attracted to him. That's what it is. I guess that's a Lil Wayne scenario. They're attracted to him. So I get it, but you can't make me.
You can't force it.
To
yeah,
you.
True.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy G-Wade holding it down. And I want to thank you all for tuning into this episode of the G-Wade Podcast. Now be sure to subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell to stay up on all the latest videos and content that we post. And we just appreciate everything.
Oh, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at G-Wade Podcast. Till then.